All right, so I'm trying to set up my point of view mount right now. Give me 1 second. So if you got any questions about technique or anything like that, or any insights that you want on how I cut, drop that in the comments. I'm gonna try to respond. Hey, Jameson in the building. Jameson, we live on YouTube, bro. You know. Oh yeah. Yeah, we live in the building. Hey, right here. What's going on? Jameson's in the building, man. You know, he blessed us with his presence. Greatest, but this is the only great place to get your grooming right. This is it, right? That's it. Hey. Idea, right? Hey, bro, I'm gonna see the check later. Yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah. It's always a vibe in the shop, especially with Jameson's in the building. All right, so let me turn this around. Bet. All right. Hey, this should be pretty dope. First time live on YouTube, bro. Oh, wow. You First about to time. Cut live? Yeah, I'm about to show them how. Woo! Little free game session. It's a different level here. Free game session. That's exactly what the hashtag should be. Hashtag free game. Free game. All right, let's do it. All right, so this is my 3. And New Orleans is fire. Let me take out this Bluetooth so I can just speak directly into this mic. Said fading feels like a struggle. All right, so tell me what you're going through with your fade. Why does it feel like it's a struggle for you? What's the hardest part about it? Clippers you're using too. It might have something to do with your tools. All right, if you're just joining me, again, I'm doing a ball fade, mid-ball fade, 3 on the top. I'm going to start my fade section about right here. And I'm going to do a pretty tight fade, so it's not going to be stretched out really long. I'm going to fade pretty much in this section here. I can accomplish a tight fade with his texture because he doesn't have super dense hair. So tight fades give you a nice quick transition, and it really draws the eye to your fade. So yeah, y'all try that out. All right, so I'm establishing my ball line. This isn't going to be a drop fade. I'm just going to go all the way around, starting to about like mid to low. Not too high in the fade. And I'm sorry, not too high in the region of being a mid fade. So this will fit his head shape really nicely. So yeah, using my caliber 50 cal BMGs. I'm all the way closed right now. So I'm establishing my ball line without putting a harsh line in there. So I will go back and clean up with my liners. But for me, I don't have to put in a hard line to do so. I just need to make sure that my first line is pretty symmetrical all the way around. And if I missed a question, y'all, please just add it again to the comments. I just realized that a lot of these comments, they just disappear after a couple seconds. So if I don't get a chance to address it during the live, my plan is to post this video and then kind of do a review of the questions and a review of the cut. And just give you my perspective in more detail on how I go about knocking out this kind of fade. So yeah, thanks for joining me, y'all, over from Instagram, doing a ball fade on one of my most loyal triple OG clients here, Justin. I've been cutting him for, I think it's been over 10 years. You said 10 years when you came in. I think it's been over 10 years. I started cutting in Atlanta back in 2010, and Justin was one of my first regular clients. So plenty of practice.
I don't know. Has the cut got better, bro? You can tell the truth, bro. We on live. Let's tell the truth. Back then, I used to take pictures of my cuts with a DSLR camera, and the detail came out really great. So I sometimes go back and look over those cuts to see how much has changed. For me, I don't feel like I've gotten a whole lot better. I think my speed has increased while still maintaining a high level of quality. To me, that feels like it's the biggest difference. But from a client's perspective, he said I've gotten better. So take his word for it. All right, so I established my bottom line with my clippers all the way closed. And they're not quite zero gap, the clippers aren't, but they're really close. They bring me to about a 5-0. So if you're familiar with detachable blades, the 5-0 blade, it will pretty much give you a bald look without having the hair all the way bald. And that's what you see here. So I don't know how detailed this is, guys, but I'm trying to move closer. I could have used that as my bald line. It could have been bald. For some people, they would have been okay with that. But if you're doing a bald fade, make sure the bottom of the fade is all the way bald. That'll give you a way cleaner cut. Just make sure that your clippers or your trimmers, I'm sorry, aren't too sharp and that you're not actually causing irritation. But you do want to get it to be smooth as you can. Some clients can handle the electric shaver. If you have an electric shaver, it's definitely a good idea to use one if you're doing a bald fade, unless your client can't take it. So that's where I draw the line. So he was shaking his head. No, some clients can't take the electric shaver, so you don't want to sacrifice their comfort for a clean fade. All right, because it may be clean in the video and your pictures that you post on Instagram and the video that you may record on YouTube, but they may not come back because you gave them something that they didn't ask for. So keep that in mind. Don't sacrifice your client's comfort for a slightly better fade. It's a free game right there, guys. All right, so let's jump to create my top weight line. So one of my techniques that I use, I don't use the same technique with every haircut. It really depends on the texture, the grade, that type of cut that they're getting. This technique I'm going to be demonstrating is when I have two different fade sections. So I'm going to do my bald line, and I'll jump up and do my weight line, and I'll keep the weight line about right here. So in this case, let's use a one guard. One guard, I'm going to establish this weight line. One guard closed. I'm going to use the corner of his temple peak point right here. That's kind of like my guideline. That's my visual guideline to make sure that the other side matches this side perfectly. With every haircut, every fade, I always use their head shape and different points of reference within their head shape to make sure everything is balanced and matched up. So I can just jump to this other side and know that, all right, I want this ball line to be right there, temple peak point. I'm sorry, not ball line, weight line. I can do a quick review over these clippers. I've been using them for, how long have I been using these? About a week and a half. So far, so good. Before that, I was using my older calibers. So this is like the first generation calibers. They still cut really well. So I use these pretty much all day, or I was using these pretty much all day, every day, until I got the new 50 cal BMGs. The difference, these do better with knocking out bulk, and they feel like a little bit more powerful. But before I had these, I would pretty much use my older calibers. I've had these maybe 3 or 4 years. And my liners, I use either the Boost Babyless Pro, or I go with my corded outliners. So these are my tools, y'all. Tool check. All right. 447. Justin, what you got up for the weekend, man? What's going on? Just chilling. No cookouts? You ain't grilling nothing? Can you grill? Let's ask that question. Let me put you out there real quick.
I'll probably grill tomorrow, though.
All right. Sir, the grind don't stop. So now I switch to, this is a one guard open. So I'm taking out some of the bulk from this top line. Again, if I missed your question, it's because this phone is mounted to my chest, so I can't see it unless I'm actually looking at it while you post your question. So I will go back and revisit after the live is over, and then repost this video, just doing a more thorough breakdown as to some of my thought processes and answering the questions, all right? All right, so now I have my top weight line set, my bottom line is set. I'm gonna go ahead and knock out this line here. So let's work up now. So with this technique, I'm gonna knock out this line and fade up. Once I get to that, once I get this section cleared out, then I'm gonna fade down to knock out some of this thickness in here. And then lastly, chop at this weight line to finish up the fade, all right? All right, so all the way open with my BMGs. Going up about halfway through the section. Really light touch, just flicking. And now I'm point cutting. As I get closer to the top, I'm just using just the corner of these trimmers, of these clippers to move up a little bit higher. And that's saving me from having to put on my zero guard. All right, so I'm all the way closed, one notch open, second notch open, slowly working up, third notch. Now I'm going into point cutting technique. And now I'm all the way open again. Clip over comb. All right, let's move on. So I'm back to all the way open. Halfway through that fade section. See, I created another line. Now I can just point cut using just the tip. All right, so this line was created all the way closed. So I'm gonna go one notch open, flick at that line. Careful not to go too high. One more notch open, a little bit higher. One more notch open. Now I'm starting to point cut as I get closer to the top. Now all the way open again. All right, so this side is pretty much done. Do a little clip over comb, knock out the last little bit of weight. With clipper over comb, you want to make sure that you're keeping that comb at about a 45-degree angle. So as I go up, I'm beveling out like that. That pretty much creates another guard for me, right? So instead of putting on my one guard, me using clipper over comb pretty much saves me that time and that step. Same technique, halfway up the fade with the open guard. Open, no guard, I'm sorry. to the bottom. These clippers cost me about 180. So that's actually a really good price for the quality. The battery lasts about 3 hours on one charge. And yeah, they're really strong. So I don't have to switch between different clippers throughout my cut. I can use this one pair of clippers throughout the whole fade. All right, it's got that blurry look. So after I get through all these fade steps and I feel like the fade is pretty much established on his scalp, then I'll go back and forth and just make sure everything is symmetrical. Because I set my guidelines in the same place on both sides, I don't think I'll have an issue. But you always want to go back and check. And keep in mind, the faster you get through these steps, the more time you have on the back end to polish the fade. All right, so don't obsess in these stages. Get through them quickly. Get you a routine that you can follow. And then save a lot of time on the back end for the cleanup stage. All right, we'll clip over comb. Again, if you're just joining me, I'm doing a mid-ball fade. I already went through all the basic fade steps. So now I'm working on connecting the top half of my section with the bottom half. This has already been done. So using a little clipper over comb to connect my two fade sections. I see a little bit of weight right in here, so I'm gonna do more point cutting. I hope this video looks as great to y'all as it does to me. This quality seems like it's really good. All right, I still have some weight at the top of my fade, but I haven't even done this section yet, so I haven't faded at all to connect my top link to my bottom. So I can go in now and do that. I did the top with a 3, so that means the next guard down would be a 2. So I'll go 2 guard, start all the way open, and just try to work down. So now my idea is to fade down. Because in my mind, I want to preserve as much weight in here. Weight equals contrast in the fade. Contrast means that it's going to draw somebody's eye. And that's what your client wants. They want, the fade to look good enough to get them some attention. I mean, that's kind of the point. At least for this type of fade. All right, so I'm gonna go 2 halfway. It's my next step for me. I still see it's a little too heavy, especially in the back here. So 2 halfway should knock out that little bit of weight that I see. And for this fade on his head, his texture, my goal isn't to erase all the weight. I still want to keep some there. I just don't want it to be bulky, right? I want enough there so you can see the transition from light to dark. With the grain a little bit. Always combing the hair in the direction of the grain before I swipe through it. Again, I'm at halfway with my 2 guard. I use a 3 on top, 3 on the sides to start over the top of this parietal ridge. So after my 3, my next guard down is my 2. I started 2 open, now I'm 2 halfway. And my goal is to not have to pick up my 1 guard at all. I think I'm good. All right, now I'm 2 closed. I'm about to get over to the lineup. Stepping back, seeing this blend. Let's do some flipper over comb. To me, the other side seems like it's a little more smooth. Smooth this out a little bit more. All right. Time for the lineup. Remember, clean skin equals sharp lines, y'all. So I highly recommend that you tell your clients to shampoo their hair before the cut. They show up ready. All right. All right, trying to get his hair to lay down again. I combed out. I think he had his hair tied down before he came. So I combed it out just to make sure I was going to be able to cut it evenly. Now I'm going into pretty much trying to style it now. So add a little moisture. Put some curl and wave cream to it. This product is cool because it'll help define his waves without like the buildup of a pomade or a grease, and it won't be flaky like a gel would be. So this is a good in-between product, especially for barbers to use, because I hate it when my clients come in with a whole bunch of product in their hair. All right, a little holding spray. It's on Amazon, y'all. If you go back to my Instagram, the link is in my bio. If you was wondering where I got that from. All right, now still waiting for the hair to dry a little bit more, especially the hairline. I don't want to line it up while it's still wet, so I'm gonna go ahead and touch up my fade. Try to clean up any issues that I may see, giving me time to let that front line dry. So this is where I go in and do my detail work. So let's clean. All right, skim over the top, get the flyaways. My goal here isn't to take it down anymore. I just want to get any of the hairs that may be standing up. All right. Let's use the Gold FX. For that, I want to go ahead and knock out some of the weight right here on the front line. I know it's a little bulky right there. So this is my zero guard. I'm all the way open. I'm just going to rake through the top of this hairline just to get this hair to lay down some more. All right, so I'm gonna save y'all. This is pretty much done. I'm not gonna do the other side live because it's pretty much the same technique, but this is how I do my mid-ball fade here. Now, like I said, I changed my technique a little bit depending on the hair texture, hair grade. I really want my fades to be custom to their head shape and to their type of hair. So though there's not one set way that I follow every time, there is a few of them. And over the course of this series of me going live, I'm going to be demonstrating all of it for y'all, all right? So just keep signing in, and we're going to keep doing it, all right? Again, if you have any questions that I didn't get a chance to see, just go ahead and drop it in the comment section now, and I'll review this live and address it on my next video, all right? Until then, peace.